Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Dota2 Canada Cup Season 6 group stages. We are here with our second game of the evening. It is Complexity Gaming, hot off of a 1-0 lead in the group after beating Void Boys. They'll be going up against their probably strongest competitor in this group in Team Archon, a team that's been around for a while and is one of the top North American teams. My name is Mott. We're into the draft already. Let's get underway. Of course, today we have LPQ Stats joining us doing stats. We've got Pitmuckle, the crazy German, doing observing and production, as well as Ziori. Andrew, how the hell are you, man?
I am fabulous, Mott. It's to get back on the mic, cast some games, and some good old-fashioned NA at that. You know, when I was first talking to Bill about setting up Canada Cup, one of the first things he said to me was, in Canada, dreams really can come true. And so far, all of my dreams have come true this Canada Cup, Mott. It's been a great season. I'm pumped up, buddy.
I don't believe he said that. I think that just doesn't seem like your dreams come true in Canada. That makes it sound like let's move to Canada, guys, and we're going to be super happy and everything's going to be roses.
I wish that was the first thing Bill ever said to me. I would have just been like, all right, guys, you know what? We're in. We're going to sell out the Canada Cup for pennies on the dollar.
Sell out super hard. It's like throw everything at Canada Cup. I mean, it's been a great season. First of all, before we talk about Oracle, which is amazing, I do want to shout out Bill and Anthony or Joker, who have done an amazing job since I started with Canada Cup back. I think it was season 3, and you know, a couple seasons later, I'm still having a great time here. Actually, might have been the second season. I can't even remember, but it was so much fun, and I'm happy to be here. Of course, casting with you guys, with you, Andrew, and let's talk about this Oracle pick, man. We don't see this often. Here it is.
Yeah, man. Oracle, an interesting hero. Where did we see? Oh man, we were casting a game. Was it elimination mode?
It was EM. Yeah, it was EM.
And I remember you were casting it. I remember watching it. We were just like, "Oh my God, Oracle! This could be awesome. This is okay. Well, looks like Oracle still might not be that great." So I'm really curious what Archon have in mind here. Do they have a strategy built around this? Do they have some sort of gimmicky combo? Do they just think Oracle is an all-round, just kind of like the Winter Wyvern of this patch potentially? Is this just pure experimentation because few fucks are being given in this opening matchup here? So many questions, so few answers. I'm curious what Archon's thinking because what do you think about Oracle right now, Mott? Do you think she's strong, underpowered, appropriately tuned? Because I've yet to really see her in a scenario where I'm like, holy shit, ban out the Oracle. You know,
I've seen one game of Oracle that was played in 6.86 so far in a pro game, and I was with Alliance versus DC yesterday, and I did think the hero was that great. I think the ultimate's pretty good, but it only pretty much delays the inevitable because if you use that ultimate, it's not like a shallow grave or anything. Like, you're going to more than likely die. You won't be able to get healed up. Oracle doesn't have that potential that much anymore. I'm not sure what, exact tweets they made to the hero because I'm not really an Oracle player. I saw a little bit of Fortune's End as well as Fate's Edict change. They didn't change Purifying Flames. I don't know. I think Fortune's End was buffed a little bit, but I'm not sure if this is going to be a great pick. And to pick it first as well, either Archon are really practicing this and they've got something in Fluff is like, I know how to play the hell out of this hero, or something else. I'm not sure, man. Honestly, I have no idea.
And was it who actually had to play the Oracle? Was it?
I don't know.
Was it Archon in EM?
I don't think so.
Did Archon play? It was one of the NA teams for sure. And oh god, I can't remember.
We can go back into the VODs.
Yeah, I think we interviewed somebody afterwards. They're like, "So what do you think about Oracle?" And they were just like, yeah, that was pretty YOLO." Yeah, my memory's not serving me well.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in
Europe.
Long ago.
There must have been something in the water.
Dude, that was so long ago. There's no way I'll be able to remember that. I don't know. Maybe LPQ can find it up, but
I've met some Dota personalities that have disgusting game memory. Like Cinderin is one of them, where he remembers games from like 4 years ago. Remember at the 40-minute mark when I just like, Jesus, man, how do you? I can't remember the games I played yesterday.
I know, right? That's the thing. Like, people can they can talk about these games. The only games that I can really remember off the top of my head are really popular games, really exciting games from pretty much internationals or big tournaments like DreamHack or something along those lines. Like, those are the only games I can remember. I could barely remember my own games unless I got like a Rampage or had an amazing game in particular or something like that. Like, there's just no way I can go that far back. But
okay, so he says Ja was the one that played it.
Oh yeah,
Root against DC.
Yeah. So you were right on with the NA Dota team playing it.
Okay, yeah.
That's fair.
I think he might have been playing with Whitebeard and Fluff, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Was Fluff on the something like that?
They might have. There was a period of time right before ESL New York that they were playing on a different squad, I believe. Like, they weren't Archon yet. and that might have been
Right,
that old Root Gaming squad. I'm not 100% sure, but it could have just been John.
Quickly. Yeah, it's hard to know which iteration they were into, but
Yeah.
aside from the Oracle, pretty much more of the same here. Complexity sticking to pretty comparable to what they played in the first matchup. Dazzle PL is their support carry duo, and now Queen of Pain for the mid lane.
Is Lim going to be the mid lane QoP here is the real question, because Swindles has been kind of controversial in the way he plays a lot of his mid heroes, especially QoP, I think, as well. So I think if Limp is the one there, I'm a bit more comfortable with that.
I feel like this Complexity team is one of the most versatile across their positions 1, 2, and 3. Like,
yeah,
Limp
I'd agree.
Can play any, Chessie can pretty much play any, and Swindle can pretty much play any. And depending on what heroes they're doing, you know, safe lane Warlock, no other team is really doing that right now. It's hard to predict who's going to play what in which lane because of how these players are. And even Z-Freak, you know, we'll see him occasionally go into the jungle with an unconventional hero and do all sorts of things that you wouldn't expect out of a position 4. So. That versatility is there. That's one of the reasons I love this team, man. They're always so interesting to watch because you never know what they're going to do until the phase actually starts.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way about Archon, especially with Moo and kind of he experiments with a lot of weird offlane heroes, and he was one of the first people to do that offlane Slardar build, and he actually had a lot of success with that. Speaking of Archon, Rubik is going to be picked up, and this is the hero that Fluff has been playing in pubs, I think, nonstop. He made a tweet about it and said, he asked essentially, what hero is everyone playing? And he then mentioned that he was playing Rubik almost like in every game, essentially. So he clearly values his hero very highly, and I think that means the Oracle is going to be played by Whitebeard more than likely. I could be wrong about this, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Is Oracle a male? I don't know why I was assuming Oracle was
I have no idea.
Character.
I want to believe that...
I'm pretty serious about this.
I don't know, dude. He doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have a gender, in my opinion. I don't know, dude.
It's androgynous. Like, it's a buck. It's
Yep.
Because there are some Phoenix there is no proper pronoun.
But it's so hard to call something it, though. Like, you don't want to do that. That just feels...
It sounds offensive.
It does.
Yeah, it really...
I mean, we're offending a video game character, but honestly, still, you want to get it right.
Yeah. Yep. I like to just be consistent. It's weird how those little things start to like bother you over time. But when I hear somebody refer to a character by different genders, I'm like, man, just pick a pronoun and stick with it. Even if you're wrong, at least you're consistent.
I'm going with he for Oracle. Then.
Okay, it's a him. Knowledge of Oracle skills is key to use him as a potential blah blah blah. Thank you, Dota2 Wiki. Confirmed. Nice. Oracle male.
All right. Well, we got everyone else. I mean. We're not every other gender in this game so far. Let's see Complexity pick something weird here. Let's see him go crazy. Come on, pick something that is unusual. Pick a new hero like Terrorblade. They already have a PL, so that's not going to happen. But still,
where's the Earth Spirit, man? Everyone was talking about that hero being super strong.
I'm sure. Well, the biggest change that they made to it was the pull doesn't work on allied heroes unless you have an Agate Scepter now, which is a pretty big change. Yeah. And they even changed the Boulder Stun, I think. But I still think the hero is good. Maybe you just don't have Earth Spirit players in your team. There's very few of them out there because the hero is actually kind of difficult to play, or maybe they just don't feel confident enough like to actually throw into the game. Maybe they own it pubs, but like, I don't know if we could do this at a pro game kind of thing.
Yeah, it's an odd hero. It really is. In terms of play style, he's one of the most unique, I think.
Yeah.
Up there with the Invoker, that's for sure. Anti-Mage picked up by Archon.
Yeah, this is a great pick against Phantom Lancer. Might pick up the Iron Talon. I'm not sure if we will. Night Stalker's super good against the PL, obviously the Silence, and very good against the QoP. So PL will get Mantis Style, obviously, to get out of the Crippling Fear, but Queen of Pain might have to go for an early Yules, maybe an early BKB. Might be an option as well for her. So they also could use the Tusk to save those heroes with the Snowball. Tusk, again, was nerfed slightly, but like a lot of these heroes are still in the pool. I think they do need to tweak these numbers a little bit. If you want to get Tusk out of like first pick or even like being picked often, you have to tweak the numbers more. You have to make them a little bit worse, I think.
I'm really tired of Tusk. I think last patch he was... I think on most patches it's pretty hard to definitively say a hero is just broken. But I think Tusk was close. He just did everything. You know, he was the Lina of the patch prior, where there just wasn't what was supposed to be his weak point. Super fast. He can just reset, save people. He can initiate. He can lock you in. One of few heroes that has like something that creates a new path, like Fissure. You know how the ice shards work. Sigil, right. Incredible. Like he did everything too well. And I agree. I think he's still probably more balanced now. It's hard to say exactly how all of these new items and all the other changes with new heroes in the pool will. I think he was nerfed by proxy, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see how he fits into this patch. But last patch, I was just So done with that goddamn walrus.
There's so many heroes that just like you mentioned, just by the sheer virtue of being able to change the way the map is with the Fisher or Ice Shards can there's just heroes that are inherently good at Dota, just really solid. Like you have to nerf them into the ground in order for them to not be eligible, and then they still come back crawling into the game. Like a Batrider with Lasso, Tusk I think is another one of those heroes as we've seen now. Like there's a couple of heroes that I'm just like, okay, well, he's so good, and it's going to be hard to get him out of Captain's Mood essentially.
Yep. It's true. Final bands coming out here. Viper banned out by Complexity, and the Brewmaster taken out by Archon. Okay. Brewmaster. Another hero that I think has been underloved a little bit. And there we go. Slardar for Complexity. Well, I thought he was really weak on the last patch, and towards the end, I was convinced that he wasn't quite as bad as I thought he was. I saw Les Ford play him pretty convincingly a few times, but Zeus with the Arcana, no less. Oh boy, Mott, this is actually my first time seeing it in game. I think I'm going to pick it up, but I haven't bought it yet. This is
I'm going to do the same. It looks super sick. I'm actually a real big fan of it.
Pretty badass. I mean, I think Arcanas are the only real cosmetic that have, like, it's the only type of cosmetic that still means something, you know? Like, what is mythical or whatever anymore? Arcana still holds that name, and some of them are really awesome. This one is... They did their research on this one. They know what people like.
I have 3 of them. I have the Terrorblade one with a white gem in it. I have the Lena one, and I have the... what was the third one? I can't even remember it off the top of my head
I just have techies.
God, you're disgusting. That's gross. Ew.
To be fair, somebody gifted it to me, but still.
Yeah. And this is an offlane Zeus, by the way, because Moo is picking it up, and this is going to mean that Monkeys is maybe playing them. Well, maybe they switch the roles up and Moo's going to go mid. It's going to be weird here. I don't know where they're going to land everything up, but I'm just going based on past experience with this squad.
No, I think you're absolutely right. This is kind of an odd draft here coming out of Archon. You got the Anti-Mage bottom. You have the Night Stalker presumably headed to the mid lane. Then the offlane Zeus. They have odd bits of control here. It's not really a melee-heavy team, but their cores are melee, and then Zeus, who barely counts as a ranged hero.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to struggle against this Tusk, Slardar, Queen of... All of the Complexity heroes have great positioning tools, and once they get into the faces of Archon, Anti-Mage will blink away, and everyone else is kind of just like...
Oh, we're screwed.
Great, good team fight, guys. They're lacking that one big piece of control, you know, some kind of AoE disable. They don't have the...
I mean, it comes out of the Rubik, right?
6-second ravage here that the Slardar provides.
I think if the Rubik is able to steal Slardar Sun or even Tusk Snowball, I think they're in a good spot. Or even a couple of these abilities are fine. It makes their team fight a lot stronger. They do have Monkey's Feather going for the Iron Talon, by the way, and I think this is a great idea. It allows him to, if he is going to go mid, he can, if the wave is closer to the enemy tower, he can head back into the jungle and just kill a couple of camps quickly, especially the medium camps, and get right back into lane. It actually helps him a little bit. Helps him lane as well. I think just being able to Iron Talon and right click or creep down before your enemy can deny it is pretty fine. And then again, he could be going off lane too. I'm not really sure what the lane is going to be. They'll unpause. They'll get the Rubik down bottom. Fluff will place up an Observer Ward into the lane. Great Observer Ward placed. Could be countered, but Complexity is not heading down there. They might do this whole let's have Chessie go bottom thing again on the PL like they did in the last game. I'm not sure how you feel about that though.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Archon might actually just put the Night Stalker in the off lane. He's the one with the ward right now, and Moo is the one that's headed mid with the pulled tangos.
Yeah, you're right.
It looks like a bottle rush. So, slightly different. We'll see how it works out. Offlane Night Stalker, it can be a real nuisance. Looks like he'll be laned up against the Slardar played by Swindle for now. And yeah, I think Limp will go mid, and you're right. They're going to do the same thing. This aggro try to secure some farm for Chessie, maybe shut down the carry of Archon. It's an interesting play. Last game we saw Void Boys react to it by trying to just do a 2-1-2, and it worked pretty well in the laning stage. This Anti-Mage is going to struggle though, Mott. This tri-lane for Complexity is way more scary in my opinion.
Snowball into like a Doppelganger Shadow Wave, like a Heal Bomb is kind of gross.
And plus you've got that double reset, the Shallow Grave plus the Snowball. Oh god, it's going to be so hard for Archon
to kill anybody. They have defensive supports as well, like Whitebeard as well as the Rubik for fluff and stuff. Like, the Oracle can do some damage and nuke down heroes with Purifying Flames, but it looks like they're going to just 2-1-2 this for now. They will rotate the Night Stalker down bottom, so they will give Jo top. They knew that this was coming. They knew they were getting aggro tri-lane or aggro dual lane against. And it is going to be that aggro tri-lane. At least for now, Hanskin might like just head mid and then head back up top and keep some company for Swindles, but it looks like
this is pretty good, though. It should at least
fine.
Secure a good start for JO and not get completely boxed out. We'll see a little bit of a duel in the jungle here as Hanskin and Fluff go blow for blow. Tusk with boots, no shield, and Rubik. Man, he's got full consumables here. Up top, though, Swindle? Nope, okay, just getting poked.
He has 2 Fairy Fires. Wow, that's
that's interesting.
I've seen 1 like per game, and having 2 on the same hero, Fluff must have a real affinity for this item, which I'm still not convinced is very good, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could legitimize 1 maybe if you really feel like you're going to need that burst heal at some point. The +2 damage feels pretty underwhelming. I feel like a Mango the +1 HP regen is a lot more satisfying than just +2 damage.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just...
Because for some heroes, that that kind of like doubles your regeneration in those first few levels when you don't really have much going on. But
yeah,
time will tell. We'll see how it works out.
Monkeys did pick up his Iron Talon, so that allows him to last it a little bit easier. And well, mid lane Moo's getting caught. Limp jumps in with the Shadow Strike. It's level 2. Unsurprising, you always go for that point in Shadow Strike early, get the blink of another point in Shadow Strike and start maxing out your Scream of Pain at that point. Now, the real question is he going to go for the Orchid, which I think is a fine item, especially against the Anti-Mage, and pretty much against every hero in this game. Top lane Snowball's going to go. They pick up Swindles as well. They'll get the Slithering Crush off. Whitebeard is in trouble. He's going to go ahead and actually disarm Swindle so he can't right-click anymore. And J.O.'s chasing him down. Whitebeard will make his way out, but nice purge comes through. The Slithering Crush just hits, and that'll be first blood.
So he'll be forced to blink away here, and he'll be all right. Nice setup, though. You see the power of these 2 heroes in a dual lane. The Slithering Crush with the Shard Snowball to initiate. That is hard to deal with, man.
Yeah, I mean, the Fortune's End came out, and Swindle's just caught him with the tail end of that Slithering Crush. But you're right, the initiation is very dangerous. They've burnt through a little bit of the regen. Swindle still does have a salve at this point. The sprint coming through, he's going to take an extra couple of hits here and some damage coming in. Tower 8 is not going to feel very good with sprint on, but that's fine.
Absolutely. So Monkeys down bottom, getting okay farm as the Night
Snowball
Stalker.
top lane.
Oh.
They're going to go in, Slithering Crush.
They're
gonna go. Fortune's End's gonna get channeled. Hanskin is probably gonna die from just this. He won't be able to move for a bit, and the right click from Jay will do the job. So okay, good TP rotation. The Tri-Lane is rotated top now. They get a kill coming out for Jay, which is very important. They see Swindles. They might want to go on him. They have Fortune's End in 1. Telekinesis not in range. He'll sprint himself away, head around the trees. Fortune's End is gonna get channeled.
If Whitebeard can connect with this, very nice.
All right,
too far away. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, Night Stalker gets initiated on Z-Freak, making use of that small buff that Dazzle got early point in the Poison Touch. Sets up a slow to make that kill possible.
And Complexity, despite losing a hero in that top lane a moment ago, they're still leading the lead in last hits. You've got 16 for the Queen of Pain, 14 for the PL, and then 13 even in this top lane for Swindles, even though he's been kind of zoned out here a little bit, especially with the Tri-Lane rotating up.
Man. They've already got 1,000 gold lead just from raw CS in the lanes. These dual lanes are just a little bit stronger, and as you mentioned, the Queen of Pain has pretty good edge early on. Going for that 2-1-2 to round out this build before level 6. No big surprise there, but it's tough for the Zeus, man. He's suffering from that low attack range.
He's got 2 points of Arc Lightning, so now last hitting is loads easier. However, he's going to chew through his mana pool pretty quickly. He does have a bottle. He'll go ahead and secure that top rune more than likely. There's a
and Quap's got the full wand already, so...
Ooh, they'll get both runes. Monkeys will grab the Bounty and the Arcane. Oh, that's a great rune to be picked up by the Zeus. Having an Arcane rune is absolutely fantastic.
My God, it is gross. The Arc Lightning is just non-stop.
He decides
I feel like that rune is really good. I think lasting for 50 seconds is borderline absurd. I mean,
you have to think about it another way, though. If you get it on a right-clicker, you're just like, well, that does nothing for me. But if you get it on a caster or some type of mid-laner,
I mean, sometimes you get an illusion rune and it's incredible and you can block cancel it. Sometimes it's completely useless. But 50 seconds is just... Haste lasts for what, 10?
Yeah.
12? Something like that. 50 is a... Think about how much farming that enables you to do in the jungle for 50 seconds.
Ooh, Limp gets the Sonic Wave kill. And he even popped the Arcane rune there, but the Queen of Pain had just too much in terms of damage, and he jumped in the Shadow Strike. The Zeus wasn't topped off, and so big pick up for Limp. That'll put him, I believe, a level ahead. Down bottom lane, Monkey's Forever getting caught out. He's got the Hunter in the Night, and it's level 2. He's trying to just dip and dive as much as he possibly can. He just might deny himself to an hour. He's gonna make it away. He's so fast. Fortune's End will stop Chess from chasing. His dazzle's not quick enough, but here we go. Limp's nearby. Monkey's Forever gonna deny himself. Beautifully done. He gets the Hellbear Smasher, and now top, they're gonna catch out Jo and Fluff. Fluff in some trouble. Swindle's taking some right click. Jo doesn't have his mana void yet. He's only level 3. He cannot clean this up, and Archon have lost 2 heroes across the map. Complexity continue to roll on through here, Ziori.
Yeah, wow. Interrupting in pretty much every lane there. That kill mid is kind of where it started off with Limp. He was pretty low afterwards, but all of that extra XP he got from just dominating the lane, having more denies, all those last hits. He hit level 6 before Zeus did, can completely drop the hammer, and now Moose still isn't even level 6 on this Zeus, and he's forced to take this more defensive posture in the lane. You see Limp ready to go on him. Yeah, Swindle's going to get dove up top. Slithering Crush gets pump fake. TP rotation from the Dazzle.
He's not dead.
See Freak. Can they even turn this around for a kill? Swindle's going to hit a Crush.
Oh, he's blocked in. The creep wave, he pulled it. They can't get him out. Crush will go, and Monkeys is in deep trouble at this point. Sprint will come through, and Chessie's TP'd in. Swindles barely lives with about 5 to 10 HP. And now the Zuso will come through. Jo jumped in. Monkey's still alive. They get the telekinesis. Limp doesn't have much mana left. Fable will fly, but Fluff will go down to the Shadow Strike, and they'll take down the Night Stalker with Chessie diving the tree line. Jo's in trouble. He's got Blink in 1. He's going to have to use it. Where will he go? It looks like he was heading up top, and then they realize he's gone down towards the bottom area. He's bought his items here. Blink did not see him.
He's going to make it out here. Shadow Strike's available, but didn't blink right next to him, and yeah, should be able to blink back to safety here to the mid lane. Archon were just not ready for that rotation from Complexity. That was all 5 of Complexity, by the way, that went up to that tier 1 tower to fight. So they just won through brute force, man. They had the numbers advantage by a long shot.
Yeah, that dive from the Night Stalker. I know that you're an NS, you want to get kills on early in the first night, you want to be as aggressive as possible, and I think Monkeys just went a little too deep, especially, you don't have to get those kills the first night, it's more of a first and second night type of thing when you are on this hero now, instead of what it used to be. Fluff's going to get caught out, he'll use his telekinesis, but he'll be dead meat, as Limp will grab the killing spree and the Shadow Strike to pick up the last hit. Down bottom? Yeah, he'll be alright.
Yeah, just taking a little bit of damage. Swindle's just about to ding 6 as he gets hit by, was it Fortune's End? Man, I gotta learn all these Oracle Souls. This is just like Winter Wyvern all over again. Oh, Chessie up top, gets hit by Monkeys. Gets pretty low here, does have a Doppelganger, but not a lot of options. Moo zaps him down low, hops into the tree line.
He's dead.
Chessie is boned.
That's a huge kill, and Moo gets it as well. And Monkeys Forever gets involved, puts him up to level 6. He'll forego the point in Crippling Fear and go for the Darkness. And we often see getting 3 points in your Void, 2 points in Hunters in the Night, and then Crippling Fear, and then just, you know, not getting a point in Darkness until you absolutely need it. You know, maybe level 8, 9 or something like that. But he will get it because it is about to be daytime, and he wants to continue to be involved. We'll see if they grab a kill here mid.
Yeah, it looks like Limp will go for the Orchid on the Queen of Pain. He's picked up that first Robe of the Magi here. Oh, down bottom, Swindle misses the Crush onto Jo. Rotation on the way from Handskin on the Tusk, sitting level 4 right now.
They see him. They've got this ward here again. They saw him walk in, I believe. Yeah, they saw him.
Absolutely.
They'll see Limp as well.
Complexity really want to fight down here. They know they've got a pretty good edge for themselves, still holding on to a 2K golden experience lead, and they're trying to push that advantage. There's a Sonic Wave available as well. Whitebeard on the other side of the tree line. They're pinging him out. They're going to bump right into him. The Scream hits him. Shards as well, and should be an easy kill on the Oracle to start off this fight.
Yeah, Shadow Strike will go. It'll take him down.
Yeah, there we go.
No deny coming through. Jo getting dove here. Blinking from Limp, he was looking for a Sonic Wave, but great telekinesis to drop him off, drop Swindles off, rather, behind or in front of the tower. Moo is TP'd in with an Invis rune. They'll TP a couple heroes back, including Swindles. Limp and Hanskin will stay for the time being. He's looking, he's got his ult, he's got his level 4 Lightning Bolt, only level 1 Static Field.
There's still a Sonic Wave, though. Complexity might be trying to bait this out. I don't think they're aware that Moo's invisible. Yeah. They don't have any vision of the runes, so they seem a little suspicious, though.
They'll back up. This is the right play. Smart play from Complexity. They don't know where he is. He's not mid. Hanskin still might get caught out here with the Lightning Bolt. There it is.
Yeah, if he's going to get zapped, Slidar's on the way, though. If they dive this, they might be able to punish it. There's the Snowball to buy some time. TP reaction as well. Ice Shards. Lightning Bolt will finish off the Tusk. Sonic Wave, though, clips the Anti-Mage, secures the kill. It's a 1-for-1 Fluff and Stuff, though, on the run. He's going to get blinked on. One more auto attack will finish him off. Swindle connects with the Slithering Crush. Moo in some trouble as well, but the Fate's End now hitting Swindle. It's a back and forth, but the Slithering Guard is the one that comes out victorious. A 1-for-3 as Complexity take another successful team fight. All the while in the top lane, Z-Freak and Chessie continuing to farm and pressure.
This game seems really, really hard for Archon. The death on Jo, if he didn't die there, I'd say, okay, you're in an okay spot, but with that death, and especially it being daytime right now, Moo going down as well, and Limp getting involved in all of those kills. It's so difficult. Oracle almost did enough damage with Purifying Flames, but he did not Fortune's End afterwards, which of course means that he'll be healed up, as the Fortune's End is what purges you. Fate's Edict, of course, for those of you that don't know, it enraptures your target, disarming them and granting them 100% magic damage resistance. It can be cast on allies. So it grants you magic resistance, pretty much like a BKB, sort of, and you disarm the hero that you use it on.
Yep.
Okay.
And...
Hero's dead.
Yeah,
there
that's an easy one. Old Oracle. So, but his ult is that the opposite? Where you're immune to physical?
You're immune to everything for a period of time, but any healing or damage that you take is doubled during that period of time. So if you're getting focused down and you're really low, you're more than likely going to die. Unless you have like a mech on your team, you can get off your Purifying Flames, essentially.
Yeah, so only healing is doubled and damage only healing is regular.
Doubled.
So
okay, I thought it was damage was doubled.
I believe, yeah, any healing is delayed, doubled.
But I've only played the hero a couple of times, so...
Yeah, me too, but it also purges. It removes negative buffs and stuff.
Right. It's pretty good.
It's pretty funky. There's some combo potential there, for
It used to be even better when it made your hero invis, which is pretty outstanding.
I forgot about that. Oh, wow. Ugh. Yeah, that just sounds broken. Tier 1 tower up top falls. Complexity will get another one. That's actually their first tower of the game. They rotate mid, double damage here on Limp, just chunking into it. He's got the first Oblivion Staff, has enough gold to finish up the second one as well. And we'll go ahead and do that. So now pretty darn close to this Orchid. Ultimate popped here from the Night Stalker, and oh god, they catch the Dazzle. Big damage from the Zeus.
They saw Limp, he blinked away, I believe. No, it's actually the Zephyric is where he... Yeah, it was right there. Okay. Yep. I thought that was the Limp Queen of Pain, but she is actually fine. She'll find a regen rune as well. And like you mentioned, very close to the Orchid. And second Oblivion Staff comes out, and that is huge because there's no way this AM is anywhere close to a Manta style. He's going to get chewed up by that Orchid Malevolence early on here, unless he gets some help from his Whitebeard as well as Fluff and Stuff friends.
Dude, this Queen of Pain's farm is actually incredible. We're 12 minutes in. He's only halfway away from the recipe of the Orchid, and he has treads, a full wand, and a bottle. It's not like he's even just rushing the Orchid. He is going to get ganked here, and this should be the end of Limp pretty quick. Night Stalker with credit for that one. Chessie also TP's in, takes a burst of lightning straight away, and now Monkeys will just dive him under the tower.
Oh, he missed! The Void didn't get off, he got fogged! And there's the ultimate coming out. And False Promise will heal him up with the Purifying Flames, but he might still go down here. He's going to earn himself, and he'll be fine. He saves his life. Okay. All right, there it is. The first False Promise, and it keeps him up and ready. But he could have gotten that kill on Chessie if he had gotten the vision for Void, but he just wasn't there in terms of fog.
Cast point was just a little too much. Now they'll rotate down onto Swindle. It's still nighttime here, so Monkeys with a lot of attack speed and movement speed.
They can't kill him. They don't have enough mana.
Swindle wants to turn it. He's like, hey, take some of the Trident, buddy. Let's go. Moo on his way in. He's got the lightning. He's riding the cloud. Zaps onto Handskin. Not enough for the kill, but amp damage is on a lot of these heroes, and they will be forced to retreat. It's Complexity that's on the hunt. It's Limp that connects on two with the Sonic Wave. Finishes off the Night Stalker. Now it's Fluff that's on the run. He'll turn to the side. A lot of damage comes out onto Limp, but Z-Freak there with a heal bomb right after. Moo now locked in place, completely blocked out. Beautiful stuff here from Complexity as they pick up two.
They're all so low, with maybe the exception of Z-Freak, who is just shadow waving them back up. Hanskin's going to go ahead and look for a ward placement. Jo does not see him, I don't believe. He could have gone on that. And, well, that sucks. That would have been a nice kill to grab with your Mana Void, but I don't know. This game is not out of range yet for Archon, but they've got to get this AM farmed in.
Well, that's an Orchid, so...
Yeah, good luck.
AM... Oh my god. He's not even close to the Battle Fury, and the Orchid's already out on the Queen of Pain. Yeah, this is tough, dude. Complexity is in really good shape.
I mean, at this point, you just kind of have to hope your team's around in order for you to survive. The AM will have to just split up the map, avoid Limp as much as possible. Vision's very important, and they'll probably just smoke with this now. There's a couple of really good Observer Ward placements. There's one in the jungle for the Radiant team, one here in the mid for the Radiant side as well, and so they will have some vision of him. They're going to go in with Darkness, though. They're going to maybe pop up the Fear, but he can't get there in time to actually get the silence off. It was a good try. TP was forced in. Chessie will throw up the Spirit Lance as well. This is just making some extra room for Jo, who's now down bottom. His Perseverance is done. He just needs the rest of the components, and that's still ways away for his Battle Fury.
This is tough for the Anti-Mage, and I don't think Archon have any choice but to just turtle up and try and keep farming. They're at the behest of Complexity, and it's not far enough along that it's in the hands of Complexity to throw, but they are definitely controlling the tempo here.
I like the smoke, though.
Does he have the mech complete? No, okay, he's just a recipe away at this point. So
That's still amazing for
huge
Honskin.
pickup for complexity. Yeah, we'll see what this smoke yields for Archon. I agree. I think this is the kind of play they need to go for. Take some kind of a risk, but it's going to backfire.
Limp
They're not going to be
knows.
able to catch Limp.
I mean,
I'm not sure where they smoked. Maybe it was in Vision.
No, they smoked here behind the tower. There was no ward placed or anything like that.
Okay.
They had Fluff actually out here farming, so they might have thought that, okay, they're sitting behind Fluff and Jo down bottom, but that's not actually... I mean, they clearly know something's up, and Jesse's actually standing pretty far back to the tower. He's got his doppelganger available. I think they want to go on him, but it's really hard with where he's
they've
positioned.
been missing for a while as well. Maybe just good game sense that he's
Yep.
off by himself without help nearby.
All right, man. It's a 7,500 net worth lead coming out for complexity at 50 minutes in the game. That's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's pretty damn solid.
No. Yep, PL with just a solid for fighting right now. Drum of Endurance, Ring of Aquila, Power Treads. Probably just going for the same build as last game. Move right into the Diffusal for some big damage. But he is definitely ready to skirmish. He's already been involved in these fights a little bit, 1-1 and 1. And of course, we've seen the Blink Dagger on the Slardar. So Swindle is... He is in fighting form, just half a level shy of that level 2 amplified damage. It's always scary.
I will say this, as soon as Honskin picks up that mech and they decide to team fight as a group, I'm almost positive that it'll be a team wipe if they decide to take it 5-on-5. Complexity with the Shadow Wave, with the mech available, with all the damage they have, with the Sonic Wave, with the Orchid, Swindle now with the Blink Dagger. There's just nothing you can do.
I mean, Archon just have no
items.
This. Look at their inventories. You've got a Perseverance, you've got a Point Booster, and an Urn. I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah. He's getting closer. He's only a broadsword away from Battlefield, but that's not even enough to start fighting with. You need to maybe get a Vlad's, and then obviously the Manta style. And
yeah. Here's the smoke rotation mid. Swindle gets zapped. Yep. Breaks the smoke, but Monkeys will be completely isolated in the tree line here. Nowhere for him to go.
Oh, good TP.
Will lock him in. Whitebeard trying to save him, and it will. It'll get him back to the well at least. Now under the tower, they'll dive forward. Fluff takes the Walrus Punch. They'll be able to set up the kill, and Oracle just gets blown up by the Sonic Wave from Limp. Still a 2-0, even though the Night Stalker does survive. Less than ideal for Archon. They will pressure the Tier 1 tower up top.
They can get this tower. It's almost worth it. I mean, it's still obviously losing 2 heroes, but you did save your Night Stalker. You're going to get a Tier 1 tower, which means extra gold for Jo. The Glyph does go. They wanted to get the Tier 2 down in the mid lane, and they will do so. They didn't even get the last hit for Jo, though, so he will not get that extra bit of gold going his way.
If you trade 2 heroes for the last hit on that tower to the Anti-Mage, I think that's okay. If you throw in the Tier 2 tower going down there as well, it's not a good trade. Anti-Mage not getting the last hit, that is just ass in a basket, dude. That's... Oof. All right, Complexity. Going for the big man with the Santa hat.
The right play. They have plenty of damage here. They have the amplified damage for Swindle. This is one of the reasons why Slaughter is still very strong. It's that amp damage. Absolutely decimates Roshan. He'll be down within a moment here. The first rush will fall at 18-10 or so. The Aegis will be picked up by Limp, who is now a couple items shy of a BKB if that's what he wants to go for. Maybe he'll go for a Dragonlance. I doubt it. Probably not. That's just...
I hope so, though, Maud. I want to see a Dragonlance. I want to see it do some work.
Maybe not in this game. Ooh, Blink's the Living Crush. They'll find Monkey's Forever. They get the amp damage off as well. Good Ice Shards. And Snowball will come through. They get the Darkness and Crippling Fear off, but it doesn't do anything as he gets just destroyed by getting thrown up in the air. And yeah, Tusk does it again, man. It's just that hero in a nutshell. And you getting it in the 4th pick slot as well is pretty damn... I mean, they went to Walmart for that pick, essentially. The value they got out of that.
Yeah, man. He's still just so good. He's still just the complete package.
Good ward placement. Spots them rotating up, looking for a kill on Jo. He'll TP back towards mid lane. Bottom lane is pushed out too. And Chessie's dealing with that. His drum and 2.7k gold. Will Chessie go for the Diffusal Blade second again like he did last game is the real question.
I can't imagine there's anything else that he'd want before it. I mean, Manta is much less fun as a first item. Like the Diffusal, unless those little illusions do a lot off the Doppelganger.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I guess he could get like a Vlad's or something if he really wanted to commence the team fight, but...
I mean, I think maybe you get Manta because of the Crippling Fear, but I don't know if you're really that scared of it. Like, you're already pretty tanky. They're not really ganking you. What? Oh,
yeah. Zeus didn't skill his ult.
He did not skill his ultimate. I'm pretty sure that's a misclick, right? I mean, maybe you get more damage, but...
It does go up in mana cost. That's the only drawback to leveling it.
And the biggest issue with that is that level 11 to 12 is just, it's the longest experience gap in the game. To get between those two levels, it takes a while. So he's luckily halfway through level 11. If it is a misskill, he'll have his level 2 ultimate soon enough. And the extra point in stat, I feel, is not the worst thing in the world, I guess.
Yeah, there's always that upside, I guess. But it's definitely funky. It probably won't really come into play too much. It doesn't look like they're going to team fight too hard before... Well, I don't know. They have the Aegis on complexity, so...
Yeah, they want to
if
go,
they're forced to 5-man in the next minute, it actually could come into play here. This QoP is still just so big, though. Look at that net worth. 10.6k. Highest on Archon is Zeus at 6.7. He is just a monster right now. He's got an Ogre Club, 2,500 gold sitting in the bank, a Cloak for good measure just to absorb some of that damage. Really like the casual Cloak here. We'll see Jo on the run. Ice Shards come flying through.
He's going to be fine, I think.
Yeah, they'll be off the mark. And Complexity want to fight, though. They're keeping this Zeus locked at level 11.
Moon does have his Bloodstone now. He'll be right next to a ward. He's going to try to counter it. They didn't see it. He actually lightning bolted here and then here, and he missed it completely. That's just disheartening if I've seen anything. Fluff and stuff will get caught out. There's the Orchid as well. He's got his False Promise up and removes that debuff. Telekinesis will fly, and they use the Purifying Flames. There's the Zeus Salt. They steal Scream of Pain. Now Jo looking to maybe jump in with a Mana Void. Can't quite find anything. He's not level 11, so the damage isn't really there. They've done a nice job here. I mean, they've done an okay job fighting and Archon actually surviving. Like you said, they didn't have everyone there for complexity, but they're lucky to stay alive on Archon's side.
Yeah, I mean, Slardar was up top that whole time. And Complexity just kind of took the damage, shrugged it off, and just walked back. Healed up with the Dazzle, sipped their bottles, and they're in good shape. They're going to commence the fighting. They'll rotate down bottom while Swindle continues to farm the jungle. Swindle's gone back for Hand of Midas, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that. Casual Cloak as well, but he's looking to play the farm game. Kind of peculiar.
Link? Yeah, he's going to go on Jo with Slithering Crush up. There's going to be a Fortune's End, actually, just to make sure he gets the Amplify damage off with that Purge coming through with your Q button. Keep forgetting that you could cast that on allies, but yeah, that's what the Oracle Toolkit is pretty interesting. They'll take the tier 2 tower bottom, by the way, and they pick up the BKB. So this casual Cloak's not even really doing that much at this point when he's got his BKB active. It's kind of you're going in two different directions, I feel like. But this damage mitigation now is complete from the Zeus. This is not going to do anything when he's in a fight and you pop that BKB for him. Plus, he still has the Aegis, so it's like even if you do kill him with all of Zeus's spells, like he'll just respawn and pop the BKB. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I do like the idea for Complexity, though, just to grab some casual Cloaks. That is definitely a relic of Han days. Partially because it was much more value for a really long time in Han to buy the Cloak equivalent, whatever it was called, the Mystic Vestments. So that's sort of one of those old habits die hard things, where it's still okay value in certain games here, but you'll see a lot of teams that just don't really think about the casual Cloak, and Han Trash Unite, man. Casual Cloak for life.
There's 3 Cloaks in this game already, and one on Fluff and stuff, and then 2 on Woo, we've already mentioned on Complexity side. They're starting to catch up here. I mean, well, not really. There's still a 12,000 net worth lead. The Antib is just starting to catch up is what I'm trying to say. He's starting to get in there with his Battle Fury. His Vlad's is done now, pretty much. He's actually pretty close with the Morbid Mask. And then he'll be going for the Mantistal. Gonna walk right into Lemp, who did, of course, lose his Aegis just now.
Yeah. They're still in this, man. The Diffusal, by the way, so... Yeah. Nothing too crazy, just going straight for the mana burn. How big is the gold gap? I don't know, man. 12k gold, 7,500 experience. It's not over, but this is more than rocky for Archon. I mean, they are far behind. They've got no map control. They have 1 ward down in the enemy jungle. I mean, they have... Okay, no, I take that back. They've got 2 wards down. They've got 1 in the entryway down near the Roche Pit, but they're pretty dark right now. They're pretty much locked in their base, except for Monkeys, who's way far out there on the side lanes.
Creep cutting his heart to his heart's content. Yeah. He's doing a nice job of it. And clear that
coming
creep
at
wave.
A cost, though. I mean, they're getting a little bit of farm here, but Complexity's just taking all the outer towers. Now it's nothing but tier 3s.
They'll need to take this last creep wave so that they can't push in, because every other lane will be pushed out at this point. And, they're going to have to deal with a tier 3 tower push. Still no Aegis, though. AM will pick up his Vlads. They really want to split push as much as possible. Fortune's End will fly through. Zap coming in with Fade Bolt.
Tier 1 tower, maybe.
There's so much gold stored up in these towers that if he can get a couple of them, this gold gap will start, being a little bit easier to deal with. However, he actually doesn't get it. They TP Limp out, and he's just going to have to say, okay, we're fine with it. But maybe they could find Z Freak at the tree line, or Hanskin who's TPing away, and he'll actually get out.
Nope.
Oh, very close from Moo. As the TP completed, he almost got that lightning bolt off.
You can even see the lightning like starting to form on the screen. It was just like, oh, nope.
Devastating. Wow. Monkeys really needs his Ags, and he's actually not far off. Once they get that, you can feel a lot more confident fighting. Yeah. He's getting sort of close.
Overall, though, still a great trade for Complexity. Basically, they gave Anti-Mage 2 full waves and half damage on a Tier 1 tower in exchange for a full Tier 2 and half damage on a Tier 3 tower. You know, I mean, yeah, you have to let the Anti-Mage get a little bit, but they're still making ends meet a few times over. Vlad's offering now finished on the AM. He's got the Band of Elven Skin, so working towards that Yasha, but still a pretty long window where Limp's going to get more value out of this Orchid. I mean, at this rate, he's going to have an Aghanim Scepter by the time the AM has the Manta, so maintaining that at least one item edge over these Archon cores. Pretty nice.
Limp crushed in the last game. He's crushing it in this game. He's doing a great job. Swindles will build a pipe. That's a great pickup, Ziori. That's actually fantastic. Against the Zeus, this helps your entire team when you're trying to push high ground. Zeus ult, or just any real lightning bolts will come out, and they won't do that much damage or any damage while the spell shield is up. So,
yep, absolutely. Good old pipe, a criminally underloved item. I like the change.
They haven't buffed it.
Yeah, I like the change though to Hooded Defiance. I remember talking to Merlini about it, and one of his points was pipe is weak because Hood is really weak. It's just not a good value item. Like once you get to the pipe, it can be pretty good, but the build-up is a lot of small pieces, but they just don't really give you much. And now at least you get an active, so you're nice and beefy when you have it yourself.
Good point. And it's kind of, I mean, Hood is pretty expensive in its own right. There's a bit of a build-up there, but it's still cheaper than buying a complete BKB, and a 325 magic shield is nothing to sniff at, but still, I mean. Yeah. He does finish up the completed pipe. He still has his Midas ready to go. We can pick up a BKB later on down the road. But they're going to gank him top. The Void will come through. He'll get silenced up. Pipe's been used already. And they can't chase any further. There's only 2 of those heroes up there. Moo's like, that's a pipe. I can't deal with this. And Monkeys is going to get left behind. He's going to Void. Actually gets bashed up. And he's going to get right-clicked down. How unfortunate.
Bash. Oh, my. That was brutal to watch. That poor Night Stalker, man.
First recorded pro game of a Slaughter getting Pipe of Insight. You know, really? that shit surprised me, but it doesn't because this hero was not picked up that much, and Pipe is, like you said, it rarely picked up by. And Jayo's going to get Orchid, and he's going to try to fight. There's going to be the Sonic Wave. BKB will go. Limp's in trouble. It almost goes out. Sonic Wave doesn't catch on Limp. He'll be able to get out just in time.
My God, what a player Limp is. The reaction time on that, I mean, I guess you could make the case that you get the kill, you're low HP, you would want to blink out pretty much regardless of what happens there, but it doesn't get much closer than that. The Stoic Sonic Wave is coming your way, blinks out just in the nick of time. Doesn't get much more clutch than that.
Fluff does have an Aether Lens. I'm pretty sure that affects the Sonic Wave ability. And Moo is going to fall as well. That's a huge pickup. They're dead for 30 seconds now, and this is the push. If Archon can hold here, this is where the game turns maybe, or at least they have a little bit of time to actually get back into it. If they lose a Tier 3 or even one building, let alone, you know, the full set of racks, this is going to be difficult at best and impossible at worst for Archon to get back in. They'll throw up the Fortune's End. Chessie now with his Diffusal as well as Yasha up. Hanskin getting kind of low, taking some tower heads. Z-Freak nearby with a gem, by the way. They pop the darkness, or rather it does become nighttime, right at the right time. Ice Shard stolen, kind of making an S formation. Pretty neat. Or what Pitmunkle would call a question mark, I suppose.
Tier 3 tower pretty low in the bottom lane, but Archon will get a pass as Complexity just back up. This is the controlled Complexity that we've come to love and enjoy, Mott. They've got a huge lead here. They know it. They know that they're setting the pace, but they're not throwing bodies at the base. You know, they're just taking their time. They're controlling the jungle, chipping whenever it's appropriate, but not getting hyper aggressive. I feel like, you know, this team a year and a half ago would just be charging at the base right now, and I like that they're playing nice and controlled. Just move right into Roche, get the easy Aegis, then rinse and repeat.
It's just so tough. Jayo's trying to catch up at this point. Archon are staying alive. Their supports are in the bottom of the barrel in terms of net worth. Moo is behind the Night Stalker, who does have a Midas. He's trying to get to a 4-staff. This will all change if they can win one or two team fights, because then you have a Zeus ult, which will get a couple of kills. He'll get a lot of gold, especially saved up in all of these frees on Complexity's side. But until that point, I mean, how are they going to fight now into the Aegis? I will say Jayo did die very quickly, or was getting dropped down very quickly when he was going up against the Anti-Mage. So it's still doable, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, the anti-mage is finally hitting that point where he's got some damage. He's got the Yasha completed, close to having the orb. So it's not all bad. I mean, if Complexity take a bad fight or two, Archon could close that gap and turn this around, but I think at this point it definitely will require some missteps from Complexity. And if Complexity continue to play this right, I mean, they're just starving Archon. They're all locked in the base, and they're clearing out the enemy jungle, part of their jungle, and pushing the lanes. And there's just nothing Archon can do about it.
I mean, at this point, what you do is you have Jo go to a lane and do what he's doing now, which is cutting the creep wave. Zeusult will fly, so he has some vision as to where they are, and they know who they're going to chase after, and it's actually going to be Chessie. They've got the crippling fear. They'll get it off. There's the Void as well, but he diffuses it immediately, and will Doppelganger to the Logre. Actually misses, but whatever. That's fine. He's still there. But they're not going to chase him down. Force a diffusal charge out. Sure, that's fine. Whatever. Not a big deal.
Yep. Gems sitting in the inventory of Z-Freak, so you look at that Archon vision, and it's pretty dismal as well. They've got one ward down right now. They do have the Aghanims on the Night Stalker, though. That's helping.
God, Mu has 5 Blissman charges, man. 4 and 4. He's died 4 times. Speaking of Gem, Oracle will pick up one for himself and grab it for the Night Stalker. Smoke, do they have one for Z-Freak? It looks like they're just going to run into the enemy jungle, not even needing a smoke, with Slaughter leading the way. They say, screw it, we're this far ahead, we don't give her a damn, really.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
doing everything he can here.
He didn't know where they were. And now he rotates, they see him all bottom, and he's like, damn, I could have stayed top for longer than that. It's a little sad.
I hope. Probably have to show mid, so Complexity will know that he's back in the base. Yeah, it's pretty good positioning for them.
He doesn't have a TP. Why is he going to mid? Are they just going to let this tier 3 go? They need to back now. Geo does not have a TP, and it's going to take him a while, even with Blink, to get over there.
Either. This is really scary.
This Rax is gone, I think. They might have just died this.
For tier 1 mid?
And a tier 2 top? I don't think this is worth it. AC's now done, and I don't know.
This is pretty crazy. Yeah, you're right. AC's out on
This is not a good idea. They're barely going to get the tier 2 top, and they haven't even used Glyph yet. They could have used Glyph. And Jo's not even get the tier 1 mid. He's actually just going to stay here. He's got Blink Heal. He really wants his tower. He's actually going to go on Hotskin.
Comes in.
Good Walrus Punch. He's making a lot of time for his team. Jo gets Orchid at the last second. He'll get the tower, but he'll still die from the Sonic Wave, and now the Mega Kill spree on the Limp. It's just not worth it, man. I just don't see it.
Hey, that math adds up, man. If the anti-mage gets the tower last hit and gets away, again, maybe that's okay. But in this scenario, he doesn't even get the last hit on the tower.
You lost Rax for that. You lost Rax for a tier 2 top and a tier 1 mid and a death on your AM. I think that they're just thinking we can't fight right now, but that's not the answer. There's ways to push them off the creeper or off the ancients.
I guess to be fair, they're in kind of Hail Mary mode, go for the high risk, high reward kind of plays, but I guess that's not even high reward. That's the hopping money bag of a tier 1 tower. Yes.
No team fight with a pipe up. It's so hard to deal with. They have to keep Arc Lightning, and they'll get a melee Rax out of this. They can Zeus Ult here, but Moo's actually out of mana. That's just an easy melee Rax. They'll heal up with the Shadow Wave from Z-Freak, and they have the Guardian Greaves up at 24. They lose literally nothing out of that engagement, out of that what you could call a push, not even an engagement. They get a high ground ward there too.
Complexity have itemized this so well. They've got a Vlad's, they've got the Aura on the pipe now, they've got the Assault Kuras. This Death Ball is nuts. You put the Guardian Greaves on top of that, and then the constant Shadow Waves from the Dazzle, and Archon just don't have the resources to go up against all the sustain that Complexity have out on the field. That's really what it's coming down to at this point.
I agree. This game is almost impossible. 20,000 net worth lead, 12,000 experience lead. Like you said, the itemization is becoming a big problem for Archon. Complexity are sitting now with a Shadow Blade on the Slaughter flying out, which is... and a Blink, too, on Hanskin. I mean, they've got too much to deal with. The BKB is now done. The AC. Plus, Lip has 3,600 gold. He just got that Assault Cuirass, and now he's got even more money. Mu maybe wanted to play the Zeus. It's not really worked out this game.
I mean, that BKB is basically just a paperweight for Lip at this point. He doesn't even have to use it. He's used it once, and it's just sat there because these team fights have been so one-sided for the past couple minutes.
Deo is going to great lengths to farm across the enemy map. He's farming the enemy ancients here, and now bottom, or top lane rather, Chessie is going to work. He does take a bit of damage from that Fable, the Arc Lightning. He's not that tanky yet.
The Manta's out, though, Maut. That Orchid finally countered.
He did it. Now he can team fight. He did TP back. He's dealing with the mid lane. Again, this game is not completely over. If Jo can somehow get an amazing Mana Void. I did say it was almost impossible, but I mean, it's... If they make a mistake here and they go...
I think you were right. Now 2 lanes of barracks down. Deficit up to, I don't know, 25k.
All right, here's the thing. You drain all the co-op's mana, shit isn't BKB or something, and then you mana void, and everyone is like really close by, and they all die. That's like that's your win condition in a team fight.
I will sign off on that win condition because of the or something in there. I feel like that or something leaves it very open to interpretation, and I.
Fluff steals a Sonic Wave. He gets an Aghanim Scepter. He actually has a Shadow Blade. What? J.O. getting caught. This is not the fight. He just bought that Mantle He'll pop, and he needs to blink away, and he'll do just that. Now they're going to jump in. There's going to be the false promise, but the Sonic Wave will go. They need to get more heals out. J.O. is almost certainly dead from the Sonic Wave here after this false. No, he lives. Purifying Flames will do enough. Meanwhile, though, Limp will get 2. The Night Stalker will be forced to buy back. Oracle is dead. It's going to be Mega Crypt here in just a moment with no glyph available, and this is more than likely GG, Andrew.
Yeah, it is feeling like a Complexity with a really crisp execution here. We'll see the final team fight break out. They'll go into a little snowball, Walrus punch forward. They'll blow up that Night Stalker as the Queen of Pain just continues to wreak havoc. Forces out the GG call here from Team Archon as Complexity feeling hot, get another win under their belt. Like I said before, man, I really like the way they itemized this. They had a pretty clear-cut game plan. It was just farm in the early game. The Midas on the Slardar from Swindle was a little bit different, not what we would have expected in that order, going for the Blink first and then going back to farming. But once they hit that timing, they got all their core items, they had all the auras, and that Death Ball was just hard to deal with. Man, 15-1 on Limp. Back-to-back impressive games from him.
And now Complexity with the chance to be the first team to 3-0 in the entire Canada Cup group stage. They have one more game today, and that is going to be up against the Power of Friendship, the Open Qualifier winners, with Ush on the squad. So Complexity now looking amazingly strong. We'll talk more about this game as we head into the post-game report here for the Dota2Canada Cup, but I do want to thank you guys for joining us here on moonducktv. Make sure you follow us here on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/moonducktv, @moonducktv on Twitter. And, yeah, we'll see you guys in just a moment, guys. Stick around.